For as long as we've known, women have been ongoing various obstacles from society on a daily basis. You'd assume that over time, women would be focused on more and progression would be made. However, every day, in a sense, it only gets worse. There are so many factors that still need to be dealt with so that women are given the rightful recognition that they deserve. My group, which consists of all women, have created a podcast discussing multiple point of views from research that focuses on various ways that women are suffering, and not only in our nation, but in the world to this day.
So, Marlon, how do you feel that women are affected by the abortion law now?
I feel like society has really been affecting women, especially over this past year on the new abortion laws. Since Roe v. Wade was overturned last June, which caused abortions to become illegal in certain states. So this issue is one of the most discussed topics in our society and affects women all over the world. But as a woman, I believe all women should have a choice to when it comes to your own body. And I feel like this directly impacts me because the choices available to me should not be limited due to the opinions of someone else. I believe that when the government is banning abortions, they're not only just banning abortions, they're only banning safe abortions, because I feel like although they're being banned, some people will find a way and it'll just make it unsafe and harder for women to find a way to get help. And I believe it will cause more women deaths throughout the years.
Yeah. And then even like crossing state lines to go and get abortions, you're going to have so many women maybe having setbacks, coming back and dying, bleeding out. So yeah. People will find ways.
Yes. Personally, I had a family member who actually had to go through an abortion a couple years back, and had it not been for her ability to have it done, I feel like the situation that we were all in, because she was very close with us and stuff, it would have definitely taken a toll on our lives, not just her, but the people who were affected around her family, she was in school, she had so many things to think about. And I feel like it's so selfish for men and authorities to try to tell how certain people can live with their lives and go upon their...
Especially men.
Especially men. Because ultimately they're the ones who are making those decisions for us, and they have no right to.
So why do you think why do you think this subject has gotten so big and it's such a sensitive and...
I believe women's rights are being taken away. Instead of moving forward in society and having women be able to make their own decisions, we're going back in time, and they're getting their right taken away where they don't have a say or a choice to what they want to do with their own body.
As you can see from what Marlene explained about how the ban of abortion in certain areas has taken a toll on not only women, but the environment around them and their daily lives, it's clear that the issue is extremely controversial. However, it has been one of the most discussed topics in our society at the moment, and it's important to recognize that the moral implications of this issue and the lack of success to resolve it will only shift our views of the world and the way we proceed it in the future.
That's just to me, with the hijab. Okay, some countries it's banned, even though it's and a lot of people think it's more so a controlling factor for men when it's really religion. But you can still go to some countries and it's forbidden. Because, what does it look like? A woman literally walking around. Even in my eyesight, I was thinking that's crazy. This woman is being controlled. But in the same token, like I said, it's a religious factor. It has pretty much nothing to do with a man, controlling a woman. But like I said, in some countries, women are forbidden from wearing the hijab, and it's a part of religion.
You see, the ban of the hijab in certain countries goes completely against the ethical respect for women. It's clear when making decisions, authorities are disregarding individuals, in this case, especially women's beliefs. It's wrongful and desolating, and their decisions have only caused more destruction to our society. Religion is a perfect example of how it goes into domestic violence. For example, there are women who practice religion it literally it's like a normal for them to accept domestic violence in their lives. Like, for example, if their husbands are out working, they have to stay at home. And this is to this day, people of certain religions, if their husbands are out working all day and they have to come back just to be aggressive and physical with their wives and children, they have to be okay with it, because that's part of what they believe and what they were grown up to believe. And it's not right though. And
Right.
there's so many ways, there's so many difficult ways to escape it. Like, it's a lot easier said than done whenever it's your entire lifestyle.
And I think that has a lot to do with vows, for better or for worse. And I think women, they hold on to those words more than men even do these days.
Yeah.
It's clear that domestic violence affects the lives of so many individuals in the world, even those who are not being forwardly abused. And little by little, if our influencers and authorities don't take it as serious as it needs to be, our society will demolish and our citizens will feel hopeless.
So how do you feel, women are affected by the immigration laws?
Women are affected by immigration and the legal process of migrating a lot. They're most likely to get sexually abused, emotionally abused, physically, and I guess society views it's more of a problem because society views women as more vulnerable than men, so they're most likely to,
Like
be
bait,
treated like that. Yeah.
dang near, almost
So,
like that.
and back to what Juliet was saying, where basically women are supposed to be okay with it because they're trying to, migrate and get to a better life and stuff, and they know they're gonna go through these challenges, but basically they just have to face it and be okay with it, because if not, it's a worse life.
Yeah.
As Joanna explained, female immigrants suffer in the same sense as women who endure domestic violence. Their ongoing daily battles and fear only make it hard to live by and provide support for themselves and their families. In these cases, some women are not considered in our society whenever authorities are only trying to make matters worse and get rid of women's little faith that they have left trying to make it by when making such a huge decision for them and their family.
In addition to women being disregarded legally, women also suffer from being ignored and not recognized when enduring great accomplishments. Instead, their achievements get credited to men who hold the unfair standards that are given by our society.
Women do not get the recognition and credit they deserve. There's a term that was first described in 1993 by scientist Margaret Ross called the Matilda effect. It's where women inventors or scientists' works are taken away by their male counterparts. An example of this being in 1947 when Rosalind Franklin made a crucial contribution to the discovery of the double helix structure of DNA. The publication of the structure in 1953 did not mention her name at all, but mentioned her male colleagues. The Matilda effect affects the women in STEM. Girls have fewer role models to inspire their interest in this field, along with the fact that there is a gender gap in STEM being male-dominated.
Our various focuses and angles, abortion, domestic violence, religion, immigration, and even art aspects all have one thing in common, and that is that most women, a part of those issues, all endure unfairness and wrongfulness in our nation.
The lack of effort from authorities to achieve a place in our society where women are given what they deserve will only continue the battles that we have to face.